Hello, my name is Mary Robinson. I live in Flatwell Heath, a little village in Buckinghamshire, but I was born in Glasgow. During the lockdown, like most people, I've mainly missed my family and friends, in particular my 5 grandchildren. But I've missed the safety and security of knowing that they were there for me and I for them. I'm isolated with my husband, but it's quite scary to think that even if one of us was taken to hospital, the other couldn't go with them. That's something that it's never been the case. We've been married 50 years. That's actually quite frightening. But I've learned a lot about society during the lockdown, most of it for the good. Sadly, there are always people who will target the vulnerable and have any excuse, and this has given them a perfect one. But there has been so many heartwarming moments that there's just far too many to actually list them all. But some examples are Tom Moore, aged 99, who actually earned £37 million for the NHS by walking around his garden. There has been police outside the local hospital where I live, and they were outside clapping for the NHS. There's been children putting little rainbows of hope in their front windows. A GoFundMe campaign which has been delivering little surprises to the elderly, and leaflets being put through people's doors offering help, people that we didn't even know. Such a lot of kindness. The government's responses have been a bit varied. They did actually put quite a bit of money aside for local businesses and big and small. And also for the self-employed, and for people generally who were having a little bit more trouble financially during this crisis. So there was a lot of money set to one side for all these things, but they've been very, very slow to actually get going on things like lockdown. We actually had the advantage over Italy. This is just my opinion, but we had the advantage over Italy in that we knew what was happening. And I think if we had locked down in February, when all that was going on, got testing, tracking and tracing in place a lot more quickly, stockpiled on PPE and made sure that we accepted all the responses from British firms who were offering it. Some of them didn't get a reply, I don't know why. But all of these things I think would have saved a lot of lives. I mean, even the Prime Minister got COVID-19 and was in intensive care, but thank goodness he recovered. But just getting going and everything an awful lot quicker, I think, would have saved countless number of lives in the NHS, the care homes and in the wider community. But as I said, that's just what I think. There's been so many heroes of lockdown that I just couldn't possibly begin to mention all of them. The NHS staff, that without them goodness knows what we would have done. Some of them even moved out of their family homes in order to make sure that they didn't bring the virus home to their loved ones. There has been the supermarket staff, the delivery drivers, the pharmacists, all of these we just couldn't manage without them. And obviously Tom Moore, that I mentioned before, another lady called Margaret Payne, who earned a lot of money for the NHS by climbing her stairs. Oh, she was aged 99. So many heroes and so much kindness. But, you know, is this going to change the world that we live in? I'm not sure. I really would hope so. We've had time to sit down, appreciate the positive things in life. Going for a walk is absolutely wonderful in the countryside. There's been homeless people off the streets for the first time, cleaner air, less pollution, a greener, healthier lifestyle. I just hope that we appreciate family and friends and the kindness of total strangers. People talk about a new normal. I don't know. History tells us that people don't always learn from their mistakes. Just hope and pray that in this case that this is not what happens, and that we don't go back to our normal busy lives, rushing around and undoing all the good that has been done during the lockdown, because there has been lots of it. Oh, how did I actually cope? Well, to begin with, I thought there is absolutely no way that I'm going to actually fill my days, but it is actually quite surprising. To begin with, I started phoning people that I knew who lived alone, sending them little messages and videos, and then I realised how much they appreciated it, so I carried on doing that. Went for a long walk each day. Fortunately, I live in the countryside. Like many people, I discovered Zoom, so regularly had family quizzes, games with friends, book club meetings, keep fit sessions, and I Zoomed regularly with my grandchildren. I even managed to attend my granddaughter, she lives in Manchester, her flute concert through Zoom, and all of the family were there, and that was lovely. Doing the gardening and housework has kept me pretty busy, clearing out a lot of cupboards that badly need it. Takes me ages even disinfecting the shopping when it arrives. I just make a list and then I decide what I'm going to do each day, and don't always stick to it, but at least I have a plan for the day and something to actually think about, which I think is actually important. The first thing I'm going to do when lockdown ends is to give my grandchildren the biggest hug. I have warned them. They said they don't mind, but we'll actually see when the time comes. And also, obviously, my family and friends, and maybe even total strangers that I see in the streets. I mean, why not? My message to future generations is to appreciate each and every day. Life can change so suddenly, and it is very, very short. Appreciate your family and friends and make sure that they know it. Look after nature and wildlife and try to understand the danger of pollution and take action where you can. Find peace in your life. In the words of the poem, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
I'm Andy. I'm from Manchester, England. I'm going to talk a little bit about this whole coronavirus situation we currently find ourselves in 2020. Now it's May and we've had roughly coming on 4 million cases. And 250,000 people have sadly died from the virus situation we find ourselves in. It is pretty bad at the moment. The country of England, including most of the world, has gone into lockdowns. Either way though, what situation we find ourselves in? Who do I really believe might be responsible? Well, China really let people down in this one. It started in China. They should have got into it pretty quick and sorted it all out instead of trying to cover it up. The severity got out of control. The Chinese, you really dropped the ball. But life happens, is what it is. What do I miss about this situation? Well, I had some pretty good acting roles coming up that had to get postponed because of the lockdown that was put in place back in March. My wrestling training at Manchester Pro and Full Tilt Wrestling both got shut down through the lockdown situation. They just shut their doors temporarily. So I'm not wrestling training, I'm not acting. I even had to postpone my own plans of putting together a film, which I got the cast and everything in place of that. I had to postpone that. But the government, it was right. They had to lock it down to protect human lives. That decision was spot on. And the NHS, they've just been absolutely brilliant protecting people's lives and keeping people alive and looking after the elderly. But you just know they'll be unappreciated at the end of the day. Me, I'm just hoping they'll get the respect and the appreciation they deserve, and that future generations take note and respect the environment, respect medical professionals, respect the army and the police force. These are the real heroes of the world. Respect yourselves, look after your friends and your family. Look after the environment. Cherish life as you got it. Me, I'm just hoping to get through this in one piece and return to what I had beforehand, go back to my acting, go back to the wrestling training. And the same goes for everybody else who gets through this. In the future generations, pay attention, because you've currently had the Black Plague that destroyed half the world for 500 years. The Spanish flu is devastating, the coronavirus isn't good at all. You just know there's going to be another situation in the future. So take care, appreciate life, appreciate yourselves, respect the environment. Until then, I'm going to continue trying to be me, keeping it real. Look after yourselves.
If you really wanna see me, fly EK450. Oh no, the virus landed in our home. Did the news of it change me? Maybe I had to look up on my phone. Cases kept on rising from these people flying. Thank God they shut the borders down. So, if you really wanna see me, come and hang out with me. If you really wanna meet me, take me out and treat me. Don't show up, I'm in lockdown. Don't you drive here from across town. Stay away in your house. Stick to your bubble and yourself. Level 2. Boo. I have to do my work from home. A cluster outbreak. For Pete's sake, what the hell are we gonna do? Physical distancing, no more mass gathering, no toilet paper left in town. So, if you really wanna see me, go for a swim with me. If you really wanna meet me, Zumba at the gym with me. Don't show up, I'm in lockdown. Don't you drive here from across town. Stay away in your house. Stick to your bubble and yourself. If you go out, distance yourself. 2 meters now. From your mouth, wear your gloves and your mask. It's now a month we've been locked down. If you really wanna see me, expand your bubble to include me. No, you gotta respect me, you just might infect me. Don't show up, still locked down.